Welcome back. You're watching Big Deal and we are discussing the financial inclusion of women. So, Kalpana, we were talking about the various initiatives. How is Jan Dhan scheme really a game changer for India in this respect?
I think the word really is game changer. It's 46 crores. So India no longer has the access problem. It's now the usage problem. In inclusion, the first step is having access, then actually having usage. We've moved from the access now to the usage phase, really. 55% of these accounts, of these 46 crores, really is women. And so we're talking about 25, 26 crore women,
yes.
Who have these accounts. Now, in our pilot that we did both in rural and urban over a couple of years, we realized that, if given the right incentive and nudges which are built in,
yes,
women are willing to save, and the money that is saved is also sticky. And that's very important from a banking perspective, you understand.
Yes.
So it's not money coming in and passing through, but really sticking in these accounts.
Yes.
Really adds to the CASA play, if you will. So really, if you were to look at the average balance growth and the stickiness, this was about roughly 2,800, 2,500.
Yeah.
So even if you would take a very conservative 50% of women, like
yes.
10 crore accounts,
yes.
With this 2,500 crores, we're talking a 25,000 crore CASA opportunity right there.
Right.
That's the size and the scale of opportunity if done properly. And savings, again, what we spoke about earlier just before the break, is the first step.
Yeah.
What really follows is the resilience products that we spoke about, the insurance, and there's revenue there as well.
Of course.
Right?
So let me ask somebody who's trying to make business out of it as well. Manish, how's the traction when it comes to the MSME and the women category in that? You have so far lent about $1.5 billion. What percentage will that be for women? And second, what kind of products are really gaining traction now in terms of growth on a year-on-year basis?
Yeah, so overall, out of the entire book that we've lent, currently women entrepreneurs would fall in the range of about 8 to 10%. Now, I think, like Kalpana was also mentioning, right, it's the access is there. Now, the question is, how do you educate, underserved? How do you make sure that the content is there so that they feel secure, they can trust, what they're seeing? And the third is also the customer experience. So how do we improve our customer experience so that, women entrepreneurs, for example, instead of walking into a branch, sometimes what they feel is a little intimidated. What are the other venues for them to actually reach out for, financial inclusion? So, overall, we've seen a lot of traction. Last year, post-COVID, actually, we've seen a little bit of bump. We are actually also working very, very closely with, Kalpana and Women's World Bank to figure out ways and means to actually reach out to these underserved segments. The products that generally, they come looking for, obviously CASA is already there, but from our perspective, working capital loan, right? So there are new to credit women entrepreneurs who would want to sort of start a new business or add to the inventory that they already have. So we've basically built an algorithm, machine learning, that takes in a lot of alternate data, from various different sources to figure out, how do we actually, serve these, serve this segment. Right. So that's essentially, what we've built.
Right. So a lot of work being done there. But Jayshree, tell us about, the social issue of money sharks. Have we managed over the years to eliminate that problem? Or do you think that our social construct is such that women still go to the money sharks for unproductive lending and then get into a loan trap?
No, that started coming in, but that was the time when we realized that, if we want to work on them and we want to help them, then the first thing is that, we need to provide them, of course, all the kind of products, but at the same time, financial literacy. And we first understood that, what is financial behavior, and on the basis of that, we started a financial literacy, and which was very helpful to them. But thereafter, what we saw was that, anyway, these women were economically active, they were working very hard, and they were risk takers. We also saw that, they had some skill. Maybe they had learned it from their mothers or their grandmothers, But then what we started was that, of course, anyway, we were giving them loans, and there were like, 10,000 to now it became 1 lakh and 1 lakh to 5 lakhs. So then that what was happening was that, yes, there were some problems that were coming in their homes, but they were so strong that, they were also dealing with that. And they started their own business. Earlier they were only doing some job work, and thereafter, her own business. But they started even expanding their businesses. Like, for example, in a person who was doing only some kind of sewing machines and all those things, she became a fashion designer. And then she also even employed 8 people.
Right.
So then this was, and she was not able to doing accounting, but that we of course taught how to do it, and now she's also doing accounting also.
Right, Jayshree.
And
so this is one of the many exemplary stories that we can hear from your experience and what Sewa Bank is really doing. But in the interest of time, final question to you, Kalpana. What about the investment potential here? You also have a vertical which invests in women entrepreneurs, and you also take a board seat.
Yeah.
How is that traction, and what's the experience?
It's been good. We have had one successful round closure that happened 2 years ago. That was a small fund, a 50 million fund. We now have a $102 million fund that is now looking at investing. We've just started deploying the funds, actually. And this fund is also going to be more Asia-centric, and in terms of our investment. It's been doing well. It's following and delivering the kind of benchmarks that the organization had set for itself, despite yes, there were of course issues during COVID, etc. But I would think that it is delivering what it set out to do.
Thematic focused funds are the only ones which can really make a difference in one segment. And I'm glad that there is more fundraising for this particular aspect, because it can give more funding opportunities, not just lending, but even equity options for this particular category as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So thank you so much, Kalpana, Jayshree, as well as Manish, for joining us to give us an understanding on this untapped market, which a lot of companies and organizations like yours are really coming together to really tap into the potential and make it big, and empowering women and also their financial inclusion in the due course of time. Thank you so much for joining us. And that's a wrap on Big Deal. Thank you to all our viewers for tuning in.